Okay. Let's see what the deal is. See what the deal is. See if we can get a little. See what we look like. There we go. See what we look like on this thing. Stop sharing the screen. Close this other page out. All right. See if anything going on right here. Oh, we got 9 guys in here. Okay. Can you hear me good? And can you hear me good? Give me a thumbs up if you hear me. Mic check, mic check. Waiting on that thumbs up before we get started. Hopefully get a little quick one in. Okay, that's rolling. Pull up my questions here. Make sure we got them all. All right, we're going to roll in. So let's see how many people we got in here so far. 3 minutes in. Let's see if we got enough to get started. No, we're going to start at 10. We get started at 10. We got 9. We need one more to get rolling. One more to get rolling. While you now waiting, hit that like button for me also, too, please. Hit that like button. That like button. Adjust this camera. Bam, bam, bam. I'm an athlete on. Used to former athlete, so I'm an athlete now. All right, appreciate you hitting that like, and we gonna roll with it. We gonna roll with it. Let's get this started. All right, we're gonna start with King Tay's question, and the way this gonna roll, I got some questions in the community post I put. Well, people submitted. I'm gonna run through them first. Then I'm gonna go through the chat box, and then if nobody's in the chat box asking questions, I got a few topics I'm gonna talk about that I wrote down on my whiteboard, and that's how we're gonna roll. We're gonna try to roll for about what's this, 8 o'clock to about 8:45, and then get you ready for Sonny and Joe Newbo's podcast that comes at 9 NF podcast. So make sure you subscribe to those guys. SZG Sports, which is Sonny, NF podcast, which is Joe Newbo, Ing Raven Vids, What's the B Word, Craving Some Raven. I'm forgetting one more. Guy that does video like me. Crap, I can't think his name. I'm so embarrassed. I can't think his name. Edgar Allen. That's something about Edgar Allen. You got a Sudden Death also. And that's all I can think of. You got the guys at Birdland BS. Follow those guys too. And I think that's who I got. Let's start with King Tay. King Tay's question. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, he asks, the way this offseason is going so far, we're going to be young again at wide receiver. Do you think this is the right approach to allow our wide receivers to grow without an older vet jumping on the depth chart? I think it's the best way to go because we've picked up so many older guys that have taken reps from younger guys and didn't allow them to develop. And the only way you're really going to develop as a young player is with game reps. Practice is great. Going against older guys in practice is great. But there's nothing like game reps, whether it be preseason game reps or regular season game reps. And game reps is what a young player needs to figure out the pace of the game, to figure out what he can and can't do, and to play that chess match with DBs to see what moves will work, what moves can't work, what moves may work if I was a little quicker, or what moves may work if I was a little stronger, how to set this block up, when to run them off, when to actually block them. Game reps is a thing that creates that growth, that football IQ, so to speak, in a young receiver. So bringing a young vet in, a young vet can talk to him on the sideline, but he can't go out there and do it for him. And in football, to me, the best way to learn is to do it. I mean, you can have all the chalk talk you want, but you need to be able to take the chalk talk the board work, and take it to the field. If you can't bring what Coach Taylor do in the meeting room to the field, you're no good as a football player. All right. That's King Tay's question. So King Tay, that's the answer to your question. All right. Next. Father like son's question. And I think he gave me 2 questions. He hit me right before this started with another one. I'm going to see if I can find it. He said, Coach, I got the Ravens doing something big in this year's draft. I got them using one of the second-round picks with the first to move up in the top 20. Who do you think they'll pick? So he's saying that if the Ravens package their first and second-round pick and move up in the top 20, I think they'll go get one of those inside linebackers, whether it be Murray or Queen. Because there's a plethora of receivers out there, so you don't have to move up to pick a receiver, or edge guy, maybe Bond, maybe Zach Bond, maybe edge guy. But if we stay at 28, and if we stay at 28, and I don't know if this probably even answering your question, but if we stay at 28, Bond's gone and those 2 receivers are gone, I'm going back to Cushenberry. But that's my 2 cents. And every time I get a chance to talk about Cushenberry, I am. Not Father like son. That's your first question. Let me see if I see your second one. I don't see your second. I know you posted me a second one. I just don't see it right now. I maybe look at my phone when I finish and find it. All right. Move on to Joseph Sandberg's question. His question is, how important is it that the Ravens grab interior O-line day 1 or day 2? Great question. I think it's extremely important because everything we do offensively and defensively is predicated on us being able to run the ball and control the clock. If we can't run the ball and control the clock, our offense is going to look totally different. Our defense is going to look totally different because they're going to have to play a lot more snaps. And you saw what happened when they played a lot of snaps when Joe was there. They got tired. But when Lamar got in the game and started controlling the clock and running the ball, the defense was able to rest, come in fresh, come in with a lot of energy. They can go 100% for 6 plays and maybe get out the field. They can go 100% for 6 plays and then go 75 for 2 plays and then get out the field. Or they can go 100% for a 3 and out. But once you get past that 8, 9, 10 play, man, the dog's tired. It takes a lot more energy to play defense than it does offense. And after 7, 8, you got to run a new D line in there. They tired. You may have to sub a linebacker and they tired. If the receiver go deep 2 or 3 times, the DB's tired. So us running the ball sets up the entire team, period. That's why I'm so high on Cushenberry or another interior lineman. But Cushenberry is my interior lineman number 1 right now. All right. Moving on to Russell Panthium's question. And if I mispronounced that, sorry. Oh, no, I spelled that wrong. It's Parnum. That's supposed to be an R. Let me correct this if I can. It's supposed to be an R, not an H. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Save. Come on, so I can get this stuff right. Still didn't save. Give me 1 second. I want to edit this. I don't want to have your name up here wrong. I wouldn't want you to have my name up there wrong. There we go. Russell Parnum's question. He says, Coach, do you think Peanut can play a more effective role if he has a legitimate big uglies in front to eat up blocks? First of all, I'm going to answer this in a 2-part question. I think he would be extremely more efficient if he had some big uglies to take up blocks. Any linebacker will. That goes without saying. Any linebacker will. That's why Ray was so good when Goose was in front of him, and then when Haloti Ngata was in front of him, because they ate up blocks and Ray could just run. He could fill gaps. He could run sideline to sideline. He could run. So yes. Secondly, we know Peanut's gone. But the second part of this question was keep him still in the draft and draft a inside linebacker and let the young guy sit out a year. Again, Peanut's gone, but drafting the inside guy is way up there now. I think it may be just as important as interior lineman. That might be even more important than interior lineman now with Bynes and Peanut leaving. So it might be more important than it. I think I'm thinking about it now. What's Calvin's probably going to be one of our top picks. One of them 2, Oklahoma guy or the LSU guy. That's Murray or Queen probably going to be our pick now. And that may be what's going to happen. Probably get a package deal and move up a little earlier to get one of those guys because we lost Peanut and Vines. So that'll leave us sitting there with Fort and Chuck Clark that played that position a little bit, and Chris Board maybe, and maybe one more person. So we probably, I think it's the writing's on the wall now that we probably go inside linebacker first. And then, from there on. All right. That's the answer to that question. Next one. Why not HVAC? Why not HVAC? His question is, where is it? Do you see us using all 9 draft picks? Do I see us drafting 9 guys? No. I see some of those picks being packaged to either move up or move back in, depending on what the cost is trying to do. I would like to see us use all 9 picks, but reality, we're probably not going to use all 9 picks. We just not. All right. Next question. That was fairly easy. From Diabetes. He says, is it possible we trade a first and second round and a third for Isaiah Simmons? Is that way too much? For us to get in the top 10, which is what it's going to take to get Isaiah Simmons, we would have to give up 3 or 4 picks. And I just don't see that happening. I love Isaiah Simmons, but I just don't see him being on our team because we're going to have to give up too much to get to him. I say he goes at least 8th, maybe 9th. And that's a ton of stuff to have to give up. Say we give up 3 picks for him. Say we give up first, second, and a third or whatever. So that leaves us with our first pick after that. So we're going to pick at 7, 8, or 9. Then don't pick again till like 140 something. So you're not going to get a quality interior lineman at that time. I don't think you want to take him and put him in the middle of your defense as a middle linebacker. I think he's everything but a straight Mike linebacker. And even though I hate him on my inside linebacker film, I think he's everything but a straight Mike linebacker. I think he needs to be like a strong safety. That way he can play in the box. He can play deep. He can cover slot guys. I think if you had to position Isaiah Simmons, it would be strong safety. Because strong safeties, they play in the box. They play deep. They cover slot guys. They rush. So that's my 2 cents on that. All right. Next question. Greg Castillo. He says, what are the chances of us bringing in AB, which is Antonio Brown? I think the chances are slim and none, but I would like to see AB on our team. I think our locker room could benefit him, but I don't see it happening because all the off the field stuff that he's done over the past 365 days. I would love it. AB, Hollywood, Lamar, and another young receiver to go along with the tight ends and Willie Snead and Boykin. I would love to see it, but I think the chances are 0. I think the chances are 0. All right. Bruno Morin's question. He says, since you're working on receivers, is this draft class so deep at receiver talent that it's a reflection of the lack of free agent wide receiver signing so far? Are teams passing on players like Emmanuel Sanders and Robbie Anderson because of depth at receiving the draft? Keep up the good work. Keep up the great breakdowns. I appreciate you. And I thank you, Bruno. I really do. He's been one of the guys that's always supporting here lately. And I appreciate subscribers like that come in and watch all the film and ask questions and have dialogue going on. But to answer this question, I think not seeing guys like a bunch of free agent signings is because of the depth in the receiver draft class. I agree with you on that. And, he sent this 4 days ago. And as we know, Emmanuel Sanders and Robbie Anderson both have gotten signed by then. Emmanuel Sanders to the Saints and Robbie Anderson to the Carolina Panthers. But I think that's why you don't see like a huge rush on people signing wide receivers because the draft class is so deep. So deep. And if you caught the top 99 yesterday when I did receivers, I can't begin to tell you how hard that was. It was 30-something receivers out there. I had 17 on my board and had to reduce that to 9. I left some good guys off. I really did. Like Hamler, I left Hamler off. Kid from TCU, I left him off. I had to. With only doing 9, it's so many good receivers out there. So many good receivers. All right, now let me see. Did I get everybody's question? Did I get everybody? King Tay, Father Joe Sandberg. Diabetes, I got that. All right. Let's roll a question from the chat box. Now, my chat box has been hidden. So I see I got 32 comments. I don't know what you guys asked. So I'm going to go in the chat box. And I'm going to start from the top. And then I'm going to work my way down. All right. All right. So with Peanut leaving, do you think we should double dip at inside linebacker? Melvin Groom. I think so. With Peanut gone, I think we should get two guys. Definitely. Get two guys to replace the two guys we left. Now to give us a linebacker room of 5. The 5 being the 2 draft picks, Board, Fort, and if you want, I don't know if you want to throw Chuck Clark in there, but I think it's one more guy outside Chuck Clark that's in there. So if you throw Chuck Clark at 6, if you take him out and leave him at a ZB, that's 5. But I think we definitely need 2 inside linebackers. Hopefully one of those guys will be Willie Gay. Jacob Phillips will be a nice pickup in the 4th or 5th. I agree with that going at. I like Jacob Phillips also. He didn't make my top 9 at 9, but he was right on the. No, yeah, he did. He was my number 9. He was my number 9 linebacker. Phillips was my number 9 linebacker. Let's see where we at. Comments. Just got my left knee in 10 more years. Ooh, I want none of that. Matthew, what's up? So glad you're streaming tonight. Yes, it's easy to stream with what's going on. And we got our directions today as far as like teachers. So I'll be in this spot a lot, whether it be with you guys, doing virtual learning, communicating with my students. I'll be in this spot a lot. And but there's times we in. I hope everybody stays safe, and praying for everybody. I know when I do my prayers in the morning, it's first and foremost I'll do my family, but then I give like a blanket prayer for everybody to try to stay safe and adhere to whatever your local government is saying to do, and just be safe, man. Hopefully this thing will pass over in 2, 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months. Hopefully, before it start getting crazy, and we'll be back to normal. But it's good to be here with you guys and have you guys interacting with me. Just to let you know, I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate y'all. But back to the lecture at hand. POD, what's the business? Let's see, got thumbs up. So I guess from something I asked earlier. I heard Brockers had a bad ankle. I saw that. And I was at Publix when I saw it. And when I came from Publix, I was thinking to myself, by the time we play football, or by the time they play football, his ankle will be done healed. So by the time they play football, his ankle is not a concern for me right now. Because nobody can really work out. So he's probably healing and doing stuff to help strengthen that ankle and whatnot. So his ankle is not a concern of mine. It's just not. 1 minute. All right, I'm back. That's why they were pursuing Sue. Yeah, I saw that too. Arrow, what's up, Arrow? Jacob Phillips. Let's see. What's up, Godson? What's up, OG? Let's see what Godson says. What's up, OG? Do you think we even have an NFL season this year? I do. I'm hopeful that we do. And the reason, but I think it's going to be delayed. I think football season normally starts around September 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere up in there. I think it may end up starting October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, somewhere up in there. I don't think NBA probably going to start until maybe right at New Year's. So I hope it starts. I really do. I don't want to be in. I would like not to be in these situations come December 31st. But moving on to the next question. I'm not really worried about Brock's ankle. People need to relax about that. Me too. Where y'all hear that? I saw that somebody tagged me on Twitter about this, about Brock's ankle. Somebody tagged me on Twitter about his ankle. So that's where I saw it. Here we go. We got another one from Joseph. How important is it that we draft? Oh, I answered that already. That's the same question he put in the thing. So I answered that one. Let's go move on to the next one. See where we at. All right. He says, what position is more important, center or guard? So, because we have two centers basically from last year. I'm going to say guard's more important, but I would try to draft a guy that can do all three. I know My guy, Cushionberry can do all three. It's said that Ruiz can do all three, but I don't know. I haven't watched film on Ruiz yet. But I know Cushionberry can do all three. It's been said Ruiz can do all three. And I would draft a guy that probably could do all three of them, especially if I'm doing it early. If I draft a guy late and he's just a guard, that's different. But if I'm going to use an early round pick, I need versatility out of you. And versatility has been able to play left guard, center, right guard. All right. Next question. What's up, Coach? What up, Devin? Do we want a thumper behind those guys or a coverage guy? We probably need both at this point. You see us grabbing two? Yes, I do. I do. With what you're saying, needing a thumper to go along with a cover guy, that brings Ohio State's linebacker back in the mix too. I didn't think he would be an issue or even a thought at one point, but with us losing Bynes and Peanut, that brings Ohio State's linebacker back into the mix. But I still think you get one of those faster guys, Queen or Murray, and pair him with a Willie Gay or Willie Gay with Harrison or Harrison with the kid from Texas Tech or Troy Dye. Y'all know I'm real high on Troy Dye. Troy Dye with any of those names that I just named would be great for me. Throw Troy Dye now. You pick out any of those five guys and I'd be ecstatic. All right, moving on. Willie Gay or Patrick Queen? Queen. Bad as my I want to say Willie Gay, being a SIP guy. Bad as I want to say Willie Gay, but Queen. Willie Gay being close. But just look at the rankings. Bruno, I don't know if you saw that video. Look at the rankings, and you'll see how I got them stacked off like that. Queen was number one. Gay was 5 maybe or 4. I know Queen was number 1. I think I had Dye 2, Murray 3, and Gay was 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly how I hit it. It was a while ago. All right, moving on. Let's see where we at. Is this a question here? Oh, yes, we're talking about his ankle again. Take that off. Do you remember saying we need another burner? Do you feel like Ruggs is that weapon? Ruggs could be that guy, but I don't think Ruggs is going to be there. I feel like that's the kind of guy we need, a fast guy. So that's why, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you the guys I think going to be options for us at 28 if we go receiver. And that's going to be Mims and Jefferson. And both Jeffersons. Mims and both Jeffersons are the guys that I think we should target, whether it be at 28 or in the second round, early in the second, however we get there. Mims or both the Jeffersons, because the top 4 are not going to be there. The top 4 to me are and obviously if you was here with me yesterday, you know my top 4. It's Judy, it's Lamb, it's Ruggs, and it's Higgins. Those guys are not going to be there at 28. They're not. So the guys that fit what we do, including blocking, are Mims, both Jeffersons, Van and Justin, early in the draft. And then you got some guys later on in the draft. And somebody mentioned to me earlier about the receiver from South Carolina. I like him too. But we could, if we bring him in, he would probably be an undrafted guy and probably could make the team. He would probably battle. He'd push Boykin for his job, I think, being undrafted. The kid from South Carolina. I'm high on him. It's just so many good receivers. It's just so I can't say that enough. It's so many good receivers. All right. That's that Southern in me. The Southern in me. My ideal double dip at linebacker. I think I just answered that one. Not Patrick. Troy Dye, and I take Troy Dye and Willie Gay. Neither one of them in the first round. I take Troy Dye and Willie Gay. That would be my ideal. Take a receiver or I keep forgetting about edge though. I just think edge is not as important to me now with us getting those interior guys because I have a lot of faith in Ferguson. I have a lot of faith in Ferguson, especially if Judon stays. If Judon stays, I have a lot of faith in Ferguson because that's that's 3 guys up front. 2 of them got to be double teamed. Whether it be Brockers, whether it be Brandon Williams when he in, whether it be Calais Campbell. And you got to worry about Judon on the other end that's trying to play for this $20 million contract. He's going to be extremely motivated. Probably not going to have a body built by Taco Bell anymore. So Edge is kind of falling back in the pecking order to me. Interior lineman and receiver. Interior lineman and linebacker. All right. Moving on. What's your assessment of Okara from Notre Dame? I got him going to second and Willie Gay with the other second. I don't know much about the kid from Notre Dame, so I won't even front like I do. Willie Gay I know a lot about, but Willie Gay just don't have a lot of tape. That's why a lot of people they're scared of him. He don't have a lot of tape, and then he broke the quarterback's jaw when he came back over an argument. So that's why a lot of people are scared of Gay. But check out Willie Gay's game against Alabama in 2018, and when he finally got like in football shape, that game against Louisville in their bowl game. Dog, and not just Mississippi State Bulldog, DAWG, certified dog. All right. Where do I have Harrison going? I think you're talking about Harrison from Ohio State. 3rd round. Somewhere in the middle of the 3rd round. I don't know to what team. Somewhere in the middle of the 3rd round. All right. Let's see where we at. Coach, what player do you think the media is higher on than teams are? That's a great question. What player do you think the media is higher on than teams are? That's a good one. That the media is hyped. So basically, what player that the media is hyping up that teams are not really up there on? Well, you stumped me. I'm rarely stumped. That's a good freaking question, Matthew. Let me think of somebody. I think it's one of those tackles. And I want to say it's Becton. Because Becton is a massive, massive, massive mountain of a man, but he got bad technique. He just grab guys, throw them out the way. It's basically, let me find something. All right. I'm Becton, and this is a smaller, those ACC defensive ends he had to battle with. Bam. That's what Becton does to those guys. So his technique is bad. Well, it ain't bad, but it's just not good. And the media's hiring him because he's a massive, massive guy. I think he's like 6'8", maybe like 350 or 60 or something like that. And they thinking size is everything. But I don't think he is as good as the tackle from Georgia, the tackle from Iowa, or the tackle from Alabama. I don't think he's as good as those 3 guys. And I can't, the names are slipping my head. I know one of them is worse, and I can't think of the other guy, but the other 2 guys. But I don't think he's as good as those guys. And we'll talk about the direction of the channel here in a second. All right. What do you think of getting Chin and moving him to linebacker since we run a race car package majority of the time? Will he be a perfect scheme fit and not a liability? I'm not sure who Chin is, but that's what Chuck is there for, if I'm not mistaken. You're basically saying use Chin as for what we do with Chuck Clark, and I think that's what Chuck is for. So I think if he could do special teams type stuff and back up Chuck Clark, maybe bring him in. But if he can't do special team type deals to contribute, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that because that's what if I understand what you're asking me, that's what Chuck does for us. When we go to somebody like Kansas City that spreads all those guys out, and we just don't go with a straight thumper linebacker in. We bring in Chuck Clark to kind of do some of everything. Edgar Allen's in the chat. But hey, Edgar, I appreciate you tuning in. Hey guys, if you don't follow him, please do so. If you don't follow Edgar Allen, please do so. His content is A1. Does a good job of breaking stuff down and explaining and showing you the nuances of every position he puts up there, every guy he scouts. Great. Edgar Allen's a great follow here on YouTube. So make sure you go do that. Faith and Ferguson, that's a rarity. I don't think he'll even start. He may not start. Ferguson may not start. It may be Bowser and Judon. It's probably gonna be Bowser and Judon. But just because you don't start, don't mean you won't contribute at a high level. Just because you don't start, don't mean you won't contribute at a high level. All right. What's up, Edward? Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see. Bowser and Ferg will eat with our D line. That's basically what I just said. Bowser, Ferg, and Judon. Bowser is point. Yep, he is. I won't argue with you with that. So let's go. What's your sack predictions for Ferg and Bowser next season? I'm gonna go and this is assuming Judon is on the team. I'm gonna go 8-8 with both of them. I'm gonna go 8-8 with both of them. Ferg 8, Bowser 8. No, let me take that back. I'm gonna go 20 total between those two. 20 total between those two. Whether it be 5-15 or what's that, 9-11, 20 total between those two. Because Judon, Calais Campbell, Brandon Williams, Brockers gonna get the attention. So these guys better eat. Better eat. I feel like they're gonna trade Matt Judon. Until they do trade him, I'm assuming that he's gonna be there. I want him to be here. I think that's the last question. Let me go check. Why is the media Sauce Jones giving me Andre Dillard vibes? that's the guy that was slipping my mind, but I don't know. Once I get into the video, you'll see, and I'll see kind of why they're high on her, and maybe what my research finds out will validate what they're saying. Maybe it won't, but you all know I don't sugarcoat it. I dive right into it and go right at it. All right, so that's the last question I have so far. Let me check my feed real quick. I got a few things at the bottom I'll chit chat about. Then you guys can kind of comment about them. Okay, so we still going good. Scroll that. All right, so let's keep this thing rolling. Got that up out the way. All right, so Peanut signs with the Jets. Let me take this off. Peanut signing with the Jets. The New York Baby Ravens are signed another one of our guys, Peanut Osmawar. And I think what they're trying to do is get that chemistry that he and Mosley had. Him and Mosley had good chemistry toward the end of that Lamar's rookie year, which would be 2 years ago. So if they can get that type of chemistry, and they got the big guy up front from Alabama, I forget his name from last year, and they got another decent defensive tackle. If those guys can occupy blocks, Peanut, I think, would be a great compliment to Mosley, like he was in Baltimore. But the Baby Ravens have picked up another one of the big Ravens players, and I think that's what they're trying to implement. They might as well just change one of their colors to either purple and black. So they could be green and black, or they could be purple and white. And all right, next. Saints executive says Lamar is a poor man's Taysom Hill. 1 second before I answer that. Or reply to that. Saints executive says Lamar is a poor man's Taysom Hill. How many of you watch Desus and Mero? They used to be on regular TV, now they're on Showtime. For those of you that don't watch Desus and Mero, and I keep forgetting which one is which, the light skin one always says, "Get out of here." And that's what I want to say to that guy. Get up out of here with that. That's Taysom Hill he's open, and I don't want to trash Taysom Hill because I like Taysom Hill. but he is nowhere close to freaking Lamar Jackson. It's not you comparing a dude that touched the field 20% of the team's plays to the freaking MVP. I mean, did Taysom tell you to put this out there so maybe you can get some of his money when he signs somewhere? Bruh. That's like saying I'm a poor man's Michael Jordan. And I ain't even played no darn high school basketball. That'd be disrespectful to Mike to even put my name and his in the same conversation. Same type thing. But I'm going to keep it mostly clean because Ian Raven would be proud of me. But a lot of curse words come to mind when reading that quote and that statement and whatnot. But well, honestly, I'm going to show this to everybody. That's exactly right. Taysom Hill don't even believe that. Taysom Hill should have read that and called that dude over there and slapped smoke from him. But moving on. All right. Bynes went to the Bengals. It's a great pickup for the Bengals. You'll get a smart guy. You'll get a consistent guy. You'll get a guy that's probably going to be familiar with what we're trying to do offensively and probably can have a leg up on trying to stop some of the things we do. But when they're not playing the Ravens, that's a solid pickup. It's a solid pickup. If he can stay healthy for them, like he did for us, that's a solid pickup for the Bengals. And I appreciate Bynes for what he came in and did, and came off the street, played a major role in what we did. I appreciate it, Bynes. I appreciate you. None but best of luck to you in Cincinnati with the Bungles. All right, Ravens re-signed Chris Moore. A lot of people didn't like that. People didn't like the fact that we re-signed Chris Moore, especially with trying to get some younger receivers. But Chris Moore is a great special teams player. And they can come in and get you some receivers if somebody's hurt or tired or we blowing somebody out or we getting blowed out, which I hope that never happens. But, I mean, when we go out 4-wide package, he could be one of those guys. It's just, I mean, it's going to be a numbers game. And they re-signed him, but he still got to make the 53. Still got to make the 53. And I don't think his number going to be a significant enough thing to, like when it's cut time, that they'll question cutting him if he needs to be cut. All right. Re-sign Anthony Levine. Man, that's big for our secondary. Not as big as the next guy we're going to talk about, but re-sign Anthony Levine is big for secondary continuity and having guys that know the system, can implement the system and do multiple things in that system. That's big. But the key piece is re-signing Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith. I don't know why I said Smiths. Jimmy Smith. I wanted Jimmy Smith back so bad. Because, like, our starting corners are probably going to be Marlon and Peters. Then you bring, if they go 3 wide, you bring in Jimmy, bump Marlon to the slot, and then, you got Jimmy outside, you got Peters outside, you got Marlon in the slot. They go 4 wide, in comes Tavon. So now you got Tavon, Marlon on slots. You got Jimmy, Peters on outside guys. You got Earl back there lurking. And you got the next safety guy kind of hovering, either blitzing or doubling somebody or somewhere in that mix somewhere. And then, but if you use Chuck Clark, so now you could either use Chuck Clark as a safety or bring him down and play 2 linebackers with 4 guys up front. So that's signed. It is that will is that's exactly what is necessary for Kansas City. That's exactly why I was happy we brought these guys back, because Kansas City can run you 4 receivers and a tight end out there. And we need guys that can play man to man for the most part and bracket bracket Tyreek Hill. We need guys that can cover those other guys fairly well and bracket Tyreek Hill. Yeah, we may even put Jimmy on Kelsey. Kelsey won't run by Jimmy. He may out physical him some, but he won't run by Jimmy. Then you can put Marlon on somebody. You can put Peters on somebody. You can put Tavon on somebody, and still try to get after Mahomes. But signing Jimmy was primarily to compete with Kansas City. And then it's like if somebody going there just put in there, great rotation. And I know for me, just speaking in Madden terms, when I go nickel and bump Marlon in, and they bump Marlon to the slot, them slot receivers catch hell with Marlon. And then Jimmy does that, he does, unless it's an elite receiver, he holds his own. All right. And the last note I got is Michael Pierce going to the Dolphins. Big pickup for the Dolphins. I think it's the Dolphins. Correct me if I'm wrong. Michael Pierce go to the Dolphins? Why did I have it on there? I feel like I wrote that wrong. Help me out here, chat box, before I continue and look like a fool. Vikings. I don't know why I put Dolphins down there, but it's Vikings. I had a Vikings fan ask me about his pass rush, technique and whatnot. I'm like, good luck with that. Because Pierce is a run stopper. He's a run stopper. He may get you some QB pressure, but Pierce is a run stopper. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. 8, he may get you some TFLs, and 9, he may get you some quarterback pressures. But he's a great run stopper. Don't take this as hating. He is a great run stopper. Great. He's great at it. He's great at what he does. All right. And so this is episode 5 of Questions with Coach. What time is it? 8:44. Right on time. So remember earlier I said make sure you guys get you a little quick break before you catch Sonny and Joe Nubo with their podcast. I'm not sure what the topic is. But check them guys out. I've been in their chat box also. And share, man. I appreciate you guys for the support. I appreciate you guys watching videos. Appreciate you liking. I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate you sending questions for this format. I think this time slot is going to be good for us. We had over 100 people last week. I don't think we got to 100 today. I got to do a better job of promoting it and getting it out there because, I just want to grow the channel. And I appreciate you guys for helping me grow as much as I've grown in the past year and a half. Hit the like button if you haven't. I don't know how many likes I got right now, but I appreciate if you guys hit the like button. Subscribe. Go check out yesterday's Top 9 at 9. Check out all the videos I've done on the draft prospects. And as far as the direction of the draft videos, this was going to happen. So I'm going away from the specific positions, like I did linebackers, I did receivers, and I did running backs. So what I'm going to do now is it's going to be almost like a randomness to it. But just know the next 2 guys that are going to be done, they're going to be the LSU guys. It's going to be Cushenberry. It's going to be Chason. I already have Chason done. I just got to put some finishing touches on it. And Delpit. So I'm basically going to finish out my LSU guys. Cushenberry, Chason's done. I got to put some finishing touches on it. Delpit's done. I got to put some finishing touches on it. But those are the next 3 videos you're going to get. Today's Wednesday, so probably starting late tomorrow or early Friday, you'll be getting those guys. And I work through the weekend because I ain't going out the house unless I have to. So you'll get them and we can talk about them. And again, I appreciate you guys coming through. I can't tell you enough. And some of you don't know that I do have merch in there. So I don't know if you can, let me get this off the screen right quick. So you can see this is one of my shirts, especially for us older guys. I think Garnett West will like this shirt. Can't even see it. Let me hide it. Athlete. And what it says is a person who used to be proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. Mentally, they still can play, but physically, they're capitalized, done. Athlete. Here we go. There it is. All right. But all that is in my Teespring, along with some Sip Talent stuff and some Ravens Roundup stuff. And so if you get some of that, wear it. Shout me out on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And again, I appreciate you. I got one last comment. Let me see what it is. Oh, LOL. Hit the like button, guys. Make sure you go to Sonny and Joe Newbold's podcast in about 10 minutes. And see you when I see you. Peace.